We're gonna start off with some big news that was revealed to us as soon as the clock hit at 12 and we started the new year. So the Elite, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, they ended up having a countdown leading to the new year, and at the end, the announcement was that the All Elite Wrestling promotion is actually a thing, and the follow-up to All In is gonna be called Double or Nothing, which is the next event that they're going to officially have. The episode titled New Year's Elite show Hangman Page, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Cody Rhodes preparing for the clock that's been teased on the show for weeks to run out. The group gathered outside of the Tokyo Dome and ended up showing off the logo for their new promotion, All Elite Wrestling, and the Double or Nothing event, which we will be having more information about on January 8th in Jacksonville, as that is when they're going to be having a conference. And here's an interesting thing about that conference, is the fact that it's gonna be happening walking distance from when SmackDown is being held that same night. So it is clear that the Elite is already on the competition and they want to make the biggest impact that they can. Chances are they're gonna have a massive turnout during that event, especially because it's before SmackDown Live, so there's going to be a lot of hardcore fans that end up in this conference. There isn't much that we know so far, at least until the conference, but we do know that Pro Wrestling Sheet indicated that a reliable source told them that Cody Rhodes will be the executive producer of AEW events and possibly TV show, and the Young Bucks will be the bookers, with other members of the BTE serving in backstage roles like agents. The other small piece of information that we know is coming from Dave Meltzer, as he noted that Chris Jericho is on the radar for the promotion but hasn't signed a contract just yet. It's also worth mentioning that the poster that they show for Double or Nothing conference also ended up showing other superstars such as Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. So there's a lot of things already planned out, and with rumors of Chris Jericho coming in, I wouldn't be surprised if that is announced during the conference itself. It will be a huge announcement, putting them on the radar as an even bigger competition than what they already are. I will certainly keep you guys up to date on all of this, because 2019 looks to be wild already. We're gonna be having so many wrestling options that it's gonna be amazing. Moving into some other news, the Royal Rumble is coming up on January 27, and WWE finally went ahead and let some other people join the Royal Rumble matches. So during Raw, it was announced that the Riot Squad will all be in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Their 6 women tag opponents, Ember Moon, Bayley, and Sasha Banks, will also be in the match. So they already joined Natalya, Nia Jax, Tamina, and Carmella, who is coming in at number 30. Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor this week were also announced for the Men's Royal Rumble, and they join R-Truth, who is gonna be coming in at number 30. Assuming they don't do a whole swerve, which we already discussed in a previous roundup episode, so things should be interesting. As for the Royal Rumble match card itself, we ended up discussing last week that WWE was still uncertain and shuffling around in regards to what matches they want to give us at the event. And in an update to this, the Wrestling Observer Radio ended up indicating the following. I was told this weekend that 80% of the Royal Rumble has been booked. There might be a couple of surprises in the Rumble match, which is hardly news, and we will see what happens as far as top championship matches on that show. But at least there is good news that WWE finally figured out what they want to give us, because it is better for them to start booking everything early on instead of giving us like 5 matches announced on the week of the event. And as for a big potential spoiler of what we could be seeing at the event, and specifically the main event, Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, recent reports still indicate that WWE continues to work towards Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins Universal title match at WrestleMania 35, which again, it doesn't indicate anything good for Braun Strowman's chances of capturing the Universal Championship in his upcoming match. And these rumors are of course back in the table week after week, especially now, where over the last 2 weeks, Seth Rollins himself ended up indicating that he is a much more better worker than Brock Lesnar, and on all of his recent promos, some way somehow, they are connected to Brock Lesnar. Even this week, Seth Rollins ended up indicating that if Brock gets in his way, then he is gonna go ahead and burn him down. So WWE is already teasing this huge main event on a weekly basis even before these guys actually get a chance of facing each other. And it's interesting that all of this is happening heading into the Royal Rumble because of course, Seth Rollins is favored to win that whole thing. So either it's actually gonna happen or they're just trying to deceive us since the rumors are already out there. Moving into some other news, so next week's Monday Night Raw will be a loaded show show, as it was already confirmed that John Cena will be returning to Raw, Braun Strowman and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar will both be in the building promoting their Royal Rumble match, so we're probably gonna get some big altercation between both of them. The Revival versus Raw Tag Team Champions Chad Gable and Bobby Roode with the title on the line, and we got Alexa Bliss debuting her new Moment of Bliss talk show segment with Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey as the first guest. So there's a lot happening on the show next week, and this is basically the start of those rumors that we discussed about a week ago, where WWE plans to have every single show leading into the Royal Rumble as big as possible as they can. Cage side seats also ended up indicating that with the show being so loaded up, we could be seeing a multiple debuts. So we might see the first call up from NXT happen next week on Monday Night Raw. Moving into some other news and some quick news, so the latest episode of The Edge and Christian show on WWE Network features a segment where CM Punk was censored by having his name crossed out. If you guys watch the show, then you guys know that this is all based on jokes, and they have a lot of segments, including one where they discuss things that WWE can't talk about, and it's pretty awesome that this week it ended up including CM Punk with the word quote unquote censor, but it's not really censored.